Mascoll was sitting in the ministry's office, and I went for him, and I said, Clyde, what are you going to do? Because you have created so many enemies up here, I don't think you can stay around here if the Democratic Labour Party is not here. Mascoll said to me, I don't know what I could do. I said, well, maybe you can go back to university. He said, I don't know if I can do that. I said, well, why don't you contest an election as a candidate for the Democratic Labour Party, work with us, help us to win, and come back in some subsequent posts. At first, he trembled in his boots. He said, me? Well, you know nothing about politics. I tell him, don't worry about that. We can coach you. We can make you into a politician. Just as we made Richie Haynes into one. And Mascoll agreed to run against Liz Thompson. And I will tell you this tonight, that I am the person who took his nomination to the executive of the Democratic Labour Party. That is a fact. That I can tell you so. Right. And he got in as a candidate, ran, and of course he lost, as we lost the government. I am telling you, because when you hear people speak, what manner of man is this? This is exactly what I am talking about. Mascoll lost the seat and started, I almost say, to bitch again, but that is not language for a platform. He started to pine and complain. David Thompson, the then political leader and now political leader, asked me, Chris, do you want to go into the Senate? I said no. Put Mascoll, and we put Mascoll in the Senate of Barbados. He said David Thompson never do anything for him in politics. He's a heinous perpetrator of terminological inexactitude. Has no compunction, none. What manner of man is this? And then went into the Senate. Mascoll could not settle down. He started pining again. Oh man, I don't want Rodney St. James no more. I can't be with them middle class people. Can you imagine it's the same Mascoll that said on Voice of Barbados that he was trying to get the Democratic Labour Party to go after the middle class vote and run out of St. James? Said he couldn't deal with middle class people because he cannot deal with people whom he perceives have intelligence. That is the problem. Because he thinks he can manipulate people. So he started to almost say that word again. Pain and complain and whine and sulk. But then fortuitously, even though in unfortunate circumstances, Comrade Lawson Weeks fell ill and took the decision that he could not continue on in the valiant fight. And let me make this point tonight as I stand here, that we owe a debt of gratitude to Lawson Weeks for the outstanding support and representation that he has given to this constituency. And as long as I am the candidate and the General Secretary of the Democratic Labour Party, that contribution will not go unnoticed in this country. Stay tuned to a channel near you. It's coming soon. But we give this Mascoll character When we went to Lawson Weeks and told Weeks that we were planning to run Mascoll because we know he was restless and complaining and sulking, Lawson Weeks said, Mascoll, but I don't know him. So we had to explain to him that is Sheila boy from down in Dickens. Oh, that man. He said, well, what about Derek Allen? Because Derek is really the person that has been around, that has done the work, and that should be given the opportunity. Derek Allen, who is a real man, not a manacle, stood up, and said, I will stand down in favor of Clyde Mascoll if that is what he wants. So when you hear Derek Allen speaking tonight with a certain degree of gut feeling, it is because we know the sacrifice that he made in order to facilitate this Mascoll. Now, he was given the opportunity to run again by David Thompson, the man whose back he turned his back on this Mascoll. And we came up here with our full forces and campaigned for him to get into the House of Assembly. Not one day since Mascoll was an MP or a candidate for the Democratic Labour Party in this constituency did he ever publicly stated that he thanked Lawson Weeks for his contribution to this constituency. He's an ungrateful man. Let's say that tonight. He has not done it once. But he's gone into the House of Assembly, and within weeks he's going in there to lock horns. He can lock horns with Owen Arthur, Mr. Lock Horns. You don't know Mascoll land in the House of Assembly like Beetle Bailey. Land in the House of Assembly. And the whining start again. He contorting himself. Oh man, he's an economist. And Thompson will give me a chance to reply to the budget. He did not even give himself a chance to sit down in the seat properly. And he whining and twisting and twirling and sulking and complaining. So much so that some of his closest allies in this constituency came to us. Derek can verify this. Cranston can verify it. I said, well, y'all don't control Mascoll. He up and down Dickens, cursing David Thompson, reaching out David Thompson's name with his foolishness, but he wants to respond to a budget. He's not a team player. He wants to respond to a budget, and Thompson will give him the opportunity to respond to a budget. So he did that for 2 years or so, neglected the constituency, ignored his constituents, and lost his seat to, of all people in the world, Mark Smart, who is now in infamy for having made the statement that he does not care about the rat, the cat, nor the vat. Mascoll lost his seat to Mark Smart, and I must say you got to give Mark an S, because he tries his best with what he has, what little he has, and he works when he has the opportunity to do so.